With the second half of Season 7 about to drop in your laps, we decided to recap the beginning to the latest chapter in Alexandria's existence. And remember folks, watch out for spoilies.
Time to find out what happens to our beloved friends and how they deal with what's to come from our newest villain, good old Negan. I'm Ian Start.
And I'm Brian Mitchell.
And this is the Skybound Rundown.
After all of the unpleasantness, Rick fires back at Negan.
I'm gonna kill you.
But Negan doesn't seem to mind, until he does the whole drag Rick into the RV thing. Title sequence!
What a piece of shit.
That's fucked up, Negan.
He takes Rick on a little drive and stops in the middle of a thick mist. As a lesson to Rick, he tosses the axe outside and makes him retrieve it.
Amy.
Oh, I can't watch.
Negan takes his time, but ultimately chooses Abraham. Daryl goes for him in a fit of rage, and Negan doesn't appreciate the outburst. He responds by killing Glenn.
God, I'll find you.
Goodbye, Glenn and Abraham. We'll miss the shit out of you.
Hit me, my ass.
Rick slashes his way back to the RV, and they return to the group. But before stepping back out, Negan gives him the only option he has. Work for him, and his sweet little friends live.
So we're all good here, right?
Not one fucking bit. Carl is summoned.
Rick, why don't you take your axe, cut your son's left arm off, right on that line. Chop, chop.
Good one, Negan.
After some ugly crying, Rick runs out of time and is about to do it. But Negan stops him. And just like that, the Saviors pack up. But they bring a souvenir with them.
Not Daryl.
The minions from hell drive away into the morning sun, and our friends are left in the wake of despair. Maggie decides that she must head to the hilltop for the good of the baby, but the group must head back without her. Sasha says fuck that and decides to go with her. They load up the bodies and go their separate ways.
Carol time, Carol time, Carol time. Our favorite badass, Melissa McBride, is alive and better than ever. Well, sort of. Carol wakes up with Morgan at her side, who then takes her on a grand tour of the kingdom, where she is introduced to Ezekiel, the leader, and his pet tiger, Shiva. Carol is enthusiastic to say the least.
I don't know what the hell's going on in the most wonderful way.
I've never seen her like that.
Shitting me, right?
That's the Carol we know. Morgan must now replenish the wells, so to speak, as he heads off to hunt pigs in the city. Afterwards, the piggies are then strung up and presented to none other than the Saviors. Following a little tussle, they take their nasty pigs and fuck right off. Morgan's efforts to convince Carol to stay leave her unconvinced, and the next morning she grabs a horse and gets out of Dodge, accompanied by Morgan. They stop at a house for her to take refuge for the time being, and they part ways. She cleans up the house and settles in until... Ezekiel, you dog.
Dwight is having a ball. He makes himself a sandwich using his roommate's food, and the sun is shining.
Looks like Daryl doesn't get to enjoy that last part.
I don't think he's going to enjoy much of anything, Ian, since we've entered the era of Easy Street.
We're on Easy Street, and it feels so sweet. Sing every sweet refrain right here.
Dwight takes him to the doctors, introduces him to the Walker yard,
You could be like them, or me.
and returns him to his cell. Daryl can resist or fall in line. It's his choice.
I ain't never gonna nail.
Is that?
Daryl's favorite song? Of course. But the door is left unlocked. He can listen to it from the hallways. He makes it all the way outside to a bike, but busted. Story time! Negan tells Daryl how he married Dwight's wife, Sherry, as Sherry gave herself to Negan to save Dwight since they tried to escape from the sanctuary. But Dwight still got the iron. An overall lesson to Daryl on what he can still accomplish with Negan. So, he asks him one simple question.
Who are you? Daryl.
Attaboy.
Let's check in on Alexandria, shall we? As Rick slumbers, Michonne pulls out the big guns and heads out for some target practice. But she's not a very good shot. Or is she?
A doe, a female deer.
Back at Alexandria.
Hello?
Negan, his saviors, and our man Daryl have arrived to collect their dues. Hey, Rick, can you hold this? He sends his men to collect their half along with whatever the hell they want throughout the commune. And Dwight then threatens Rosita and Spencer to hand over Daryl's bike.
Sons of bitches.
She and Spencer head off to fetch the bike, and she gains a weapon as she kills an undead savior.
Shit, no bullets.
Holy crap!
Back at the A, Father Gabriel politely tells Negan that Maggie has passed.
Well, Dave.
Ah, shit.
Carl.
Carl is being extremely protective over their medicine, and Negan talks him down. This incident only reminds him that their commune must have a shitload of guns.
Oh no!
Looks like they're short 2 whole guns. After some searching, Rick finds that Spencer was hiding both of the guns. At least they don't know about Michonne's rifle.
Fucking shit.
Rick talks the rifle right out of her hands, and now it belongs to the Saviors. They pack up their winnings, including their beds, and head off. Michonne heads back out to her sniping perch and uncovers an unthinkable tragedy. Fucking assholes. In the final badass moment, Rosita asks Eugene to
Make me a bullet.
Time for some Hilltop. A pregnant Maggie sees the doc and finds out that her baby is indeed living. Time to say her piece to Glenn and Abe.
We don't bury our dead, we burn them.
In comes Gregory to asshole the place up a bit. He tells them they need to skedaddle, and Jesus will take them back to Alexandria. Speaking of Alexandria, Enid skips town to head to the hilltop, and Carl follows in hot pursuit. Back at the hilltop, they've been bombarded with fire and walkers. A car on the premises is blasting music, attracting the spooky boys. Looks like Sasha, Ninja Jesus, and Maggie spring into action. Hi-ya! They stop the music in a calm, organized fashion. The next morning, Gregory still wants them to vacate the premises. But then, Hilltop gets some visitors.
That's not Negan.
Nope, this is Simon, Negan's right-hand man who's stepping in to oversee the Hilltop. Jesus hides Sasha and Maggie as the Saviors search the compound, and Gregory attempts to give away their position, but they find nothing. Now that they're done terrorizing Hilltop, they pack up their winnings and leave. And Maggie has something to say to Gregory.
So you'll learn to start to call me by my name, Maggie Ree.
Following an adorable rollerblade sesh with Carl and Enid, they arrive at the hilltop. Carl devises a plan to sneak onto one of their trucks and head to Negan's compound, and Enid gives him a big smooch to try and convince him to stay. But Carl is noble as fuck. He must avenge his friends. Sasha then asks Jesus if he could locate Negan's compound and keep the info between the two of them. So he sneaks onto one of the trucks and bumps into a familiar face. Hey, Carl.
Whoosh! Across the 7 seas are a pair of young gals scavenging the sandy shores. It's Tara! In Tara's unconscious mind, we get a glimpse of how she got there. Tara and Heath's scavenger mission is not going well, and the assault on the Saviors has weighed heavily upon Heath. He's ready to return, so he makes the call to head back to Alexandria. However, this happens. Tara makes her way through the woods where she uncovers a habitat of wild forest creatures in a little village called Oceanside. She is quickly caught and handcuffed.
Hi.
Over dinner, Natanya and Beatrice tell Tara about how they lost all of their men in a skirmish with the Saviors. They offer Tara the ultimatum of staying with their people. Tara counters with the idea of creating an alliance between Oceanside and Tara's community. Natanya won't agree, and they let her leave the next day. But the women have other ideas. Beatrice is about to shoot, but Cindy comes in clutch again.
Go!
Tara escapes and gets home, where she's caught up on all the terrible things that happened when she was gone.
On the flippity, as Jesus and Carl pull up to Saviorland, Jesus jumps out to stay sneaky, but Carl takes a more direct approach. But Negan shuts that shit down real quick, and afterwards gives him a tour of his community, the Sanctuary. He shows him how everyone loves and respects him.
Everybody gets fresh vegetables at dinner. No points needed.
Up next, the monogamy room. Carl can't take his eye away from all the pretty ladies.
Carl, you fucking dog.
Negan gets Sherry to spill the beans on one of his wives, who cheated on him with her old flame. Daryl gets trucked in by Dwight, who stumbles upon Negan Frenching his babe.
Negan, you fucking dog.
That is gross as hell. I can see your socket.
Leave him alone, you monster.
Then he makes Carl sing to him as he puts on a dance recital. That's got Negan in the mood for some deja vu.
Negan, you're freaking crazy, man.
After Carl threatens Negan some more, Negan decides to take him on a little ride. With Negan gone, Daryl receives a letter, along with a motorcycle key. On the other side, Eugene is hesitant to make Rosita's bullets, so she kindly asks again.
For once, do something useful.
But there was more going on in Alexandria as they were away. Negan has arrived.
Well, that smells good.
He sits down for lunch with Carl, Baby Grimes, and Olivia, but he's getting sick of waiting for Rick, who happens to be preoccupied at the moment. After some close encounters, Rick and Aaron make it to the boat. They grab what they can, let the boat drift back to shore, and pack up. But there's someone closely watching. Meanwhile, Daryl is escaping, but first, some peanut butter.
Yum, 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 yum.
He reaches the bikes again, and this time it's only Fat Joey standing in his way. Whoa! But Daryl takes care of it. Jesus finds him, and they leave. Over in the kingdom, Richard sits down with Morgan and Carol and pleads with them to help convince Ezekiel to attack the Saviors first.
No.
Richard is not happy. In Alexandria, as Rick and Aaron are welcomed home with open arms, Spencer tries the sneaky approach to dethroning Rick. He seduces Negan into a game of pool to try and get him to name Spencer the leader of their suburban paradise. But Negan sees right through him.
Anyone want to finish the game?
Rosita ain't fucking around, and of course, Lucille protects her master.
What the shit?
Negan is furious, but figures out that the bullet was homemade. Rosita won't give up her source, so Negan takes out another person.
Olivia, say it ain't so.
Look, everybody, it's Rick.
Rick returns and asks Negan to kindly leave his home. To stop another death on Negan's watch, Eugene gives himself up, and Negan takes him back to Saviorland. They've endured another day in hell, and Rick has had it.
We're the ones who live. That's why we have to fight.
Yeah, I know that now.
They make their way to Hilltop, where Maggie has been waiting, along with Daryl.
Brother!
Looks like the squad is ready to fight back. How will our group deal with Negan? Will they have the firepower to succeed, or will they join the rest of humanity in the world of the undead? What tricks does this ragtag family of heroes have up their sleeves next?
You'll have to find out when the fighting will commence as we segue into the second half of Season 7 of AMC's The Walking Dead.
And be on the lookout for new and exciting Skybound content coming your way. Subscribe to our channel and like and comment on the video below. Thanks for tuning in, guys.